Hey everybody, happy Wednesday to you. Hope you all are having a great day and a wonderful week so far. Welcome to Midnight Hatter Live, the weekly variety show where we talk Gunpla, gaming, and Gundam. I'm your host, Steven, aka Midnight Hatter, and joining me as always, the Blue Gamer Gundam Explainer, Adam Blue. How are you, man?
I'm doing good. Lots of Gundam stuff to talk about personally, so this could be a pretty exciting episode. And then, like,
Yeah,
you already having the Gunpla to talk about, or the like. That's exactly what I was thinking as well. There's some pretty neat announcements.
yeah, a lot of big announcements to cover, personally and in the Gundam world, which I feel like it's been kind of a slow burn lately when it comes to Gundam news. At least since the end
Agree.
of G-Quux, it's been kind of like all about the card game. Of course, I've been obsessed with G Generation Eternal,
Heck yeah.
but there's even some G Generation Eternal news that we can talk about tonight too. So
Cool.
yeah, but you dropped a video earlier
Oh yeah.
today covering the robot spirits, the
Yeah, the
AU
GM2, the AU
Shim-2.
version
Yeah,
with the balut. I remember you were helping me pronounce that.
I always thought it was Balut, but like
Balut. Then no, that might be it. I even in the video
Gundam
said, I don't
pronunciation is one of
know.
those things where it's like, it is what you make of it. Like, a couple weeks ago when we had Kyle, AKA Simply New Type on, he
Oh,
was he was correcting us left and right.
he's the guy to ask
He
because I
is
think
the
it's
guy to
more of
ask.
it's one of those words that is probably just a standard word. It's just not used often enough for people to just know, "Oh, is that L like a Spanish or the double L?" Or,
Exactly. Bayut.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny because for the longest time, I remember being in high school and I would look up Gundam terms thinking that they were real technologies, things like vernier and
Oh.
like Dober gun, and I'm like, "Oh, yeah, but it's a vernier thruster," and it's like, "Oh, that's not a thing." Like, it's
Oh, I always thought that was. I mean, just from Gundam. Like, because when
and
I would
maybe it is, but I never found any of
well,
that. I was like,
Well, that's what I mean, like, since I've been researching the mechanics of mobile suits, there are times where I'll come across words that I'm not using often that are actual words, but then I'll come across words that then I think, "Oh, that must be a real word," but it's not, like vernier. I would say vernier, but
yeah,
vernier.
you give
I
it a little French twist there.
Yeah, to me, it's like, "Oh, I guess that's the thing by the thrusters." If and I just assumed that is then an actual word. Um,
Yeah, I mean, there's certain ones that I think have started to make a lot of sense because, like, for instance, when you hear like the Ale Strike Gundam, ale being short for aileron, which an aileron is the little flaps on
oh,
airplane wings that like adjust the basically catch wind and like
yeah.
adjust the flight angle of the plane. So when you think about the Ale Strike pack being on the Gundam, oh, it's the flight pack. Like, there's things like that where maybe it's an abbreviation or it's like a twist on a word that kind of leans into thematically what it's supposed to do in universe. But,
I had
but
no
yeah.
idea. That actually makes me now like the name. Before this conversation, I did not like the name Ale Strike because of what ginger ale? What are we talking about here? But that description of where the word comes from, oh, that's what I needed. That's like tech.
Dude,
Like the
etymology is like that's my bread and butter. I think that
yeah,
that's one of the reasons that I studied literature and I get really obsessed with the meanings and definitions of words
yeah.
because then you can get really creative with what you do with those words. And I remember, man, I was such a nerd in college. I made a whole game around basically you and your opponent would do your best to create the longest word using a series of totally invented prefixes, suffixes, and infixes. So it was like, how could you morph a word into a longer version of itself?
Oh, I love that. Yeah, the word I landed on is anti-disestablishmentarianism, but,
Perfect example, right?
okay.
Because
Yeah,
that's got two prefixes, anti and
anti-dis
dis, establishment, which that's actually got
hey,
because establish is a
establish.
word, so it's got a suffix, and then a suffix. So triple suffix points. Now, the trick is getting those infixes. And one of my English professors in college was like, "You know what the perfect word to use as all 3 is? Because there's only one word in the English language that can be used as a prefix, suffix, and an infix, and it's the F word."
Oh, okay. That's pretty good.
Because you can say, like, "unfucking believable" or,
Yeah.
like,
Yep. Abso-fucking lutely.
"undefucking-lievable," you can work it into the word however
Clusterfuck.
you want.
Yeah. That's pretty good. I like that. That's a
But
so you made that as a game. I love that.
yeah. See,
Do
clearly, game development has always been a
yeah.
passion of mine, but I never really had the medium or the means to do it in a way that I thought was very, compelling, and obviously, I didn't have friends because, who's gonna play a weird grammar game with some dweeb? But fortunately, here we are 20 years later, and,
Yeah,
I make a Gundam RPG, we're making a Gundam RTS. I've done a lot
amongst
of video
others.
game development and
Yeah.
then tabletop stuff, so
Yeah, doing good.
the
Doing good
games are
with that
coming, trust.
weird nerd mind of yours, that word nerd mind of yours. And
Yeah,
it's
word nerd
yeah,
indeed.
yeah.
And all of this because you made a video about the GM with Balut,
Oh, yeah.
robot spirits. That's how we arrived at
Well,
this tangent.
for one thing, we gotta say, "Hey, that's Zeta reference, in a video," so it's a cool video, but the
Yeah,
other
take a
cool
drink.
video was with the, Brendan Elliott, where just talking
Mark
about
Curran.
his acting in G Savior, because I feel like people just dismiss G Savior because it's easy too. It's called G Savior, it's not called Gundam. It's a late '90s, early 2000s with Star Trek CGI. I get it. But if you care to listen to the actors, it's like, wait, these actors are good, you
Well,
know?
and the one thing that you can always give them credit for is that they give it their all,
Yeah,
There are so many times when actors will go above and beyond what they're called to do, especially in those, like, in the '80s and '90s. I think a perfect example is somebody like Peter Weller, who, Paul Verhoeven was making, like, a satire of the RoboCop script. But Peter Weller comes in there and he's like, "Oh, no, I'm gonna work with a mime coach, and I'm gonna work with, like, the top French dance instructor in the world to come up with the proper movement for RoboCop, and then I'm gonna method act it. I'm not even gonna let people call me Peter. Everyone has to call me Robo or Murphy." Like,
but is that true?
yeah, Peter Weller
That
was,
is
like,
awesome.
so committed to the role of RoboCop, and, like, we think of it now, and it's like this campy, like,
So
goofy,
yeah,
violent
so
movie.
Paul Verhoeven might not have had in mind for any specific movements to portray him that way, so we can say it was a really good combination of artists there to really, because something
100%.
I've learned from watching Naked Gun, the new one, I can't believe how good it is. Like, I
I've heard
love it, I
great
wanna see it
things.
again, is the acting, where everyone's playing, and you could say straight or serious, but no, it's realistic.
Yeah,
Because a character might have a character, or a charismatic, thing about them in how they're acting that makes them the character, but if you're doing it realistically, it helps sell it, and yeah,
and
I think it very, I mean, well, okay, let me ask you this then. You know how they sometimes say, like, comedic actors are good, like, in other roles?
mhm,
So I wonder, when it
100%.
comes to, like, the romance style actors, because I feel like that's a whole different type of, and it's almost
Yeah,
fake in a way, because I don't think, I feel like romance is so personal.
and it's melodramatic, right? It's,
Yeah,
like, a little
yeah,
over the top. No, honestly, I think that the best actors are the people who come to it with genuine sincerity, and that goes to what you were talking about, like, people playing it straight, is you don't have to necessarily believe in the character themselves, but you have to believe that the character believes themselves, and this is what
yeah,
kills Marvel movies, is that,
yeah,
like, in Marvel movies and, like, modern Star Wars for that matter, actually, like, anything that Disney does, is it's almost like every character in the story knows that they're a character in the story, and they turn to the audience and wink at you every now and then to let you know, like, "Hey, I'm in on the joke too," like, it's but the thing is people don't like that. You know, it's one
Yeah.
thing if there's one particular character that does it, but it's you really want every character in a story to be committed and believe that the stakes of the story are true and real.
That was really good what you said. I never really thought about it that way because if I had to frame that, like, as I'm looking at a Marvel movie or whatever, yeah, the things that put me off sometimes are when the characters are acting more like, "Hey, this is this character right now," instead of like, "What is this, uh, situation that is
Yeah.
occurring?"
Like, as funny as Deadpool and Wolverine was, it's like
Yeah, yeah, and then it reminds me of, like, why, Dune, even though I've only watched it once, I still think it's a great movie. Or Blade Runner, I guess I'm thinking of Denis Villeneuve movies.
there you
Maybe
go.
as a director, that's what maybe that's what he's channeling with his actors. I
Yeah,
never really thought about it that way. I love that. I love that to think about that,
it's
cool
good
stuff.
stuff,
Movie time with Hatter. Hell yeah.
man. Looking at chat, I see you guys in there, Ultronymous, Dan, Vince, Gundam Explained. Dan, hope the kiddo feels better. That's never fun, when you got a sick kiddo.
Yeah, I
I
know.
had a sick wife last night, so, she's better now, but man, that was a rough, like, rough
Oh,
6 hours, so,
man.
yeah, I'm glad she's doing better. But, yeah, tonight I am kind of in celebration mode because I think I kind of mentioned this last week that, I'm officially launching, my own sort of like hobby shop online. So let me show you guys this. It officially launched Saturday. Big thank you to the guys on Patreon and to those of you that have already placed orders and pre-ordered some of the trading card game accessories that are available on there. I'm slowly building up inventory and building up stock of these things. Here is the first official casting of one of the deck boxes ready to be painted and magnetized, which I'm really excited about. I actually updated the design a little bit. Um, so, like for instance, one of the things I'm particularly proud about with the website is you come in here and look at the various deck boxes available. There's also some play mats and dice sets. The deck boxes I'm taking pre-orders on now. So all of these preview images are actually 3D models that you can examine, kind of turn around and see what the design was that I put into it. And you can see here where there's this notch on the side that's got like a thumbprint in it that allows you to grip. Um, I'm sure that the camera's not going to pick this up, but I did redesign that grip to have
Oh.
a more mechanical texture because this kind of feels like organic. It kind of looks like a PlayStation thumbstick, like the DualShock
Oh, yeah.
stick.
Yeah,
um,
inverted, what, dog nose? Isn't that
Exactly. So,
texture?
no more dog nose, it's gonna look a little cooler, in the
Oh,
final
okay.
version. So and I've got a big old stack of magnets, which, maybe I'll just send this stack of magnets to you, Adam. I know that you'll make good use
Oh.
of them. So
Oh, yeah.
but yeah, no, thank you guys so much, and of course, I am hopefully expecting we'll see if I receive, a another Xeon's Rush starter deck, and
Oh,
everyone who pre-orders one of these, I'm going to automatically enter you to receive one of those, into a raffle. So one grand prize winner will receive one of those with their deck box. So
that's cool. Hey, I got mine, so,
so you're
and
in.
yeah, so, um I would be curious to see, so I ordered the Federation one,
Yeah.
um, just because that's, the main deck I wanna use for now. I don't know what I would get next. I'm gonna think about it, and then there's someone else we know that ordered one, and I'll see what theirs looks like too. But the thing is the Xeon one just looks good just because it almost looks like if I was in the office of one of the zombies and that was something sitting on the desk. You know what I
And I
mean?
didn't mean to do this, but I did in fact make that is the only wait, no, there are 2 green ones, okay. Nope, that is the only green one, yeah. So, I didn't mean to do that, like, all of them are either black, blue, or red, and then there's 1 green, and that happens to be the Xeon one.
Oh,
But
well,
let me
no.
know in the chat and in the comments on the video if you guys would like to see other colors, or if you would like it to be more, like, customizable where maybe you just pick what faction you want and, like, pick from a drop down of colors, because we can do that. That all of
Hmm.
these are made by hand by me, so, it's not
Yeah.
like
Yeah,
you
it's not like
know
you have to go to the factory and see if the machine
Yeah,
has that setting.
"Excuse me, can you go back to" but yeah,
Oh.
and I'm gonna be adding products here on the shop, um, throughout the month and, like, I guess in perpetuity. Like, one of the next things that's going on there are these, little LED filaments that I've
Oh.
sourced, Zgok not included, but
What
yeah.
Zgok is that? What line of
So this is from the, like, the miniatures, the 1/400th scale collection,
oh, that you would get off eBay?
yeah, yeah, so
Oh,
that's, like,
wow.
that miniatures game, that the miniatures game before Assemble, but I figure that with Assemble coming out, more people are gonna be interested in doing little light up things like this, so
Well, yeah, so I'm curious about that because when I saw that, I was thinking, "Oh, my whole Mobile Suit Ensemble." Like, anyone
yeah,
that needs a blast or a beam saber, I'll have to pick some of that up too.
heck yeah, and to answer a question, because there are 2 different playmats here, there's it's a very subtle difference between these 2. Like, so the size on the standard playmat is larger, so it gives you a bigger play area, but it's a thinner mat, so it's, like, not as high quality, whereas the smaller mats over here are 3 millimeters thick, so they're, like, a little sturdier, but, the play area is smaller. But,
Hmm.
it's got spots for your deck, your trash, your resource cards, all that good stuff. Um
That's some pretty good options because one reason I haven't picked up one up yet is because I'm wondering when I start playing, how am I gonna prefer? I will say when we did our game on those papers, too small.
Yeah, right? Like,
It's like you
and
have to buy one of these.
I kinda feel like you do, because
Yeah, I don't think and that's why I was telling you that when we were talking earlier, it's like, if you search, Bandai doesn't have any of these,
I know, it's, like, only on Etsy.
and the paper is not any good, so it's like this and I like the colony map because it's or the because it's like you're on the battlefield. It's part of the canon of being
Yeah, and this is only UC. I feel like I need to make, like, a plant version and then, like, maybe the
oh,
orbital elevators for Double O, all that good stuff. But, yeah, I mean, to your
good idea.
point, I've just measured the paper mat here, and it's, like, 16.5 inches wide, whereas the smaller mat on here is 22.
Oh,
So you're
yeah.
already getting, you know, 4 inches is a lot for people, alright? Just
No, that's cool, man. Yeah,
So,
you're
yeah,
doing a
I'm really
service.
excited, and then, of course, like, the dice set. This I very intentionally designed this dice set because as far as I know, as far as, like, the playing that I've done, you've only been able to increase the stats of a unit by +1 or +2, and then most units will have a maximum of 6 HP, so that means, like, oh, knockdown 1, knockdown 2, knockdown 3, knockdown 4. So, in theory, with 6 of these dice, you are pretty much covered for any yeah.
That's pretty cool. I like the dice idea too, just because it's just a weighted element to kinda keep things in order.
Yeah, something with a little heft to it, right?
Yeah.
But cool, enough about the things that
Wow,
I am trying to sell. I,
that's cool.
one of the other things that I wanna put on here are the resin conversion kits that I've been working on. Now oh, I should mention, obviously, you know, y you might be wondering, like, "Oh, why are you taking pre-orders on the boxes? Why not just, like, 3D print them à la carte kind of thing?" A couple of reasons, but the biggest one is actually durability. Is, like, I print in like, the highest density, highest, like, rigidity resin that I possibly can. It's the ABS like, I use high quality stuff. I use high quality stuff in general, like, at least when it comes to, like, resin casting. So, like, I use Tech Navy ABS fast, so I get, like, the best detail, and it is the hardest 3D print resin that I can get my hands on, and even that is incredibly brittle. It, like, especially for, like, the Gunpla conversion kits, if I try to snap a poly cap into that, it just cracks into a million pieces. So the advantage of using something like this, like a cast resin instead of a UV resin, is that this is the Smooth On Smooth Cast 300, which has a shore strength of 70D. It is a very hard and sturdy resin. It's not gonna, especially like with something like a deck box that you know is gonna kind of get knocked around a little bit.
Yeah.
You want it to be a little sturdier. You don't want it to just like crack. So that's a big reason why I'm doing this in a way where instead of just 3D printing everything, I'm
Yeah.
3D printing the masters, making silicone molds, and then casting them in a much more durable product.
And is it possible? I know this is asking a lot more of you to film that process, make that a video.
I'm
I feel
I'm
like that
glad
would
you
be cool.
mentioned it. I'm actually gonna be releasing some shorts here as the
Oh,
production line gets started. I'm gonna be showing off, making the various deck boxes, making yours, obviously,
oh, sweet.
and I'll showcase that stuff on Instagram and probably some
Because
YouTube shorts.
that's neat, man. Just the process you're doing it is not what you would think. Oh, just 3D print, blah blah blah. But no, like the quality control is a big thing, obviously, and yeah, it's really cool, man. Gotta say,
Thank you, I
I need to make
appreciate that.
something.
Um, and yeah, but speaking of Gunpla and, conversion kits and that kind of stuff, there have been some very interesting announcements on the Gunpla side. And we don't usually talk about Gunpla news on the show, but in this particular case, I'm making an exception for a couple of different reasons. So, first of which, celebrate Zeta Gundam's 40th anniversary with the return of the Argama Catapult.
Which
The Mega House Argama Catapult. This thing is awesome. Like, so you have the white base,
I have the Robot Spirits white
the
base.
robot
It's like
sport.
multiple sets that you put together. Yeah.
Sweet. Yeah.
Well, so could and you I think you gotta do this, you get a second one, right?
No, I would, but here's the thing, it only has the left side. So,
Oh.
what's cool is the Nail Argama launch deck actually comes with parts to be the left, the right, or the center. So you in theory,
Oh,
like, you're halfway to building a Nail Argama if you buy 3 of the Mega House Nail Argama launch decks.
wow. You know what?
But this
I
one, yeah, only comes with one side. Now, it does have parts to extend it. So, like, I only have 1 extension in it, or no, I have 2. There is a 3rd one, so it actually goes, like, an extra 6 inches further,
wow.
but I was like, "You can't even see." First of all, you guys
We
probably
need
can't
6
even
more
see that
inches.
as is.
No, well, so here's the thing. How much is it?
$120?
Is that about how much it was last time? Or do you think it was a little cheaper?
Well, okay, so they have it here at 119,000 yen. Mine, I got it for 120 plus $9 shipping.
Ah, okay. So, yeah, it's
So,
probably gonna be slightly different price than what we're seeing.
probably,
I
but
gotta get this.
dude,
I
yeah, I love how it's got the interior side of it too, which, having it on the wall kinda sucks because it's like, man, you can't even see, like, the cool inside of the hanger, but it is finished on both sides, which is pretty cool. Um,
wow.
yeah,
Yeah.
we were just talking last week about how, man, they really haven't done anything for the 40th anniversary of Zeta.
Why not just re-release something?
Yeah, let's just re-release something. Um,
I gotta get this. I didn't get it before, and uh, oh, love that.
wait a second. So here, mine didn't come with figures.
Oh,
Is it
look
supposed to come with figures?
look what they're doing. So that's what they did, well, let's
And
see.
they made figures.
Yeah, wow. That's the reason if they're painted already,
No
which
way.
yeah, I kinda don't think so, even though the set is painted, probably not the figures.
I mean, they kinda look pre-painted.
Let's see if it says maybe, in the text here, because that would be an insta buy.
Yeah. I would have to
Yeah.
get a second one in that case, but, like, it doesn't show the figures in, like, this set of
Yeah. Although, I wonder if it's they've done that before with other releases. I can't think of it now where they just show the pictures of the old release and then just the new stuff with it. I don't know if I'm thinking of a Robot Spirits or something, but, um, yeah, it says 7 pre-painted minifigures.
What?
That's pretty awesome, and it comes out in December. Wow,
In December. Alright, guys, that's my Christmas gift to myself.
dude, those minifigures alone sell it, like, oh my
Especially
gosh.
pre-painted, like, that's wild.
Yes,
Um,
yes.
but
Look at that
honestly,
Quattro.
like,
Wow.
that might be something worth 3D printing. So it's got
Oh,
2 of, like so it's got 2 Quattros, right?
yeah,
Normal
mhm,
suit and regular, Camille with and without helmet, Emma, I guess that's Reccoa, and
probably.
then
I'm just thinking of maybe a
Fa.
pilot just to have on the deck or something.
Although, yeah, that's probably, like, Opoli or Roberto because he's a little taller than
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah,
but that's pretty
that's
cool.
that's, amazing.
But you know what? That actually reminds me of something is, like, for instance, one of the big differences between the Master Grade Zeta 2.0 and the Master Grade Zeta Verka is that the 2.0 has a figure that is wearing a helmet and is kind of androgynous, so it could be Camille or it could be Ruluka, and it just depends on how you
Alright,
decide to paint the figure, whereas the Zeta Verka is specifically Camille with the helmet.
okay,
So,
but
something to consider when you are shopping for your Zetas. If you're looking for
yeah.
the double Zeta, the 0088
Oh,
Zeta, maybe go for the Master Grade 2.0.
yeah, you're just reminding me, I have the 0088 high grade Zeta to build.
Man, that thing's so good. I've actually been, taking to just kinda playing with it on my desk
Hell
because
yeah.
I love the proportions on the Zeta so much. Sammy, the nails, dude.
Well, speaking of proportions and playing with stuff on the desk, I've got this, but no, let's
Oh my gosh. Well, so there are a couple of other big announcements. Let's see. Wait, th- this is a search. Okay, hold on. Where's the new stuff here? Oh, did they like just post a bunch of new stuff? They
Oh,
literally
wow.
did.
Yeah.
So, like,
Heck yeah.
in the time that we started the stream, they have actually posted a
Did you
real
see that?
grade Strike Freedom with a titanium finish.
Which is cool. But that top one, look
Yeah.
no, go up,
Oh, the Deep Striker.
yeah, so that won the reissue.
That's cool.
That's actually a good one. I
Yeah.
would you buy something like this?
If it were the Hummingbird, I would probably go for
Oh,
that. I'm not a huge fan of the Deep Striker, but the box art, like, it makes me sad that they don't have the box art showing here. So let me
oh,
see,
'cause it's got cool.
Gundam.
I feel like that's something I would wanna get just because it's like that crazy UC stuff, where it's not
I
too
mean,
crazy. Wait a minute, is that how big it is? Oh, I remember seeing that box art when I first got
like,
into it.
that box art is gorgeous, and the box is about the size of, like, the, Dendrobium Orcus, the high
Yeah,
grade, um, but I believe it's not quite as big. Oh, yeah, so here we go.
wow.
This YouTuber's got it sitting in front of him.
Yeah,
Man, I
'cause
just don't
it's
even have room to put something like that around here.
yeah, it's funny I think it is a, master grade.
Yeah.
So
So
it's
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 100 scale.
so it's almost like it's not like it's crazy big actually, because I was thinking in terms of, like, mobile armors, but
Right.
high grade but really for a master grade, because it doesn't seem like it's like a mobile armor, but not, like, as big as we see with some. It's almost like double Zeta extensions.
Yeah, it's a mobile armor, but it's not a mobile armor.
Yeah.
Really, a lot of the size is tied up in the big gun. I mean,
Yeah. And again, this goes back to what I like about UC. I love how that's almost like a side development of the Advance of Zeta stuff. You know, there's a lot of the similar stuff where there's all these modular parts where they kind of
Yeah,
take these similar shapes in general, where you have the long guns and you have like the propellant stuff on the back. I love that look.
yeah, I mean, everything Gundam Sentinel is fantastic, and the
Yeah.
fact that they all kind of have that same design language to them is pretty cool.
Yeah.
Um, of course, we have another Hatsune Miku, little, collaboration. I have to say, I kinda dig that they went with the Gundam Wing, like the Oz style epaulettes and, like, the because let's face it, I think we talked about this a few weeks ago that, like, Oz has the best Gundam uniforms.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right, you did bring that up. I remember we were talking about how the uniforms look like sci-fi futuristic or old and yeah.
Yeah. But what I really wanted to look at was down here in these P Bandai offerings. So, like, obviously, there's the G3 version of the real grade um, 2.0,
Wow.
which, I'm not a huge fan of the G3 colorway, but like on the 2.0, it's pretty sweet looking.
I like it a lot. I almost feel like I like this better than the granddaddy, but I just think, the original colors, but I just think those original colors just are a little more iconic. Like, this
Yeah.
looks great, but it doesn't speak or shout at me, you know?
Well, I think that this is like real type colors, right? Like this is what if there
Yeah.
was a mobile suit that was made in real life, it would probably be these colors. Specifically because it's light, most people would think like, oh, you want to make it like camouflage or something. It's like, no, it was designed to operate in space. So you have two choices. You can either camouflage it with space by making it a dark color like black,
Yeah.
or you make it like they make the International Space Station, which is you try to make everything white so that you can actually see it. Like, can you imagine how much it would suck if you lose this, $40 billion piece of equipment? It's probably a lot more than that, but
Very interesting. So you're saying some of the crazy colors we might see, like, on the O, it
I
really
think
doesn't
those are
matter if it's bright for the enemy. It's real helpful for finding it in general, because I guess with the Minovsky, it wouldn't.
yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, because a lot of like you're constantly relying on visual
Yeah.
confirmation in the Universal Century
So
anyway,
that I think you just helped m make me, not what is
not
it? Because
question.
as much as I love the RX-78 too, sometimes, the thought of that yellow and red is a little too,
It's a little cheesy.
but I think you kinda helped me, uh, forgive that. So thank you.
Dan says in real life there's no stealth in space. Yeah, I mean, you can't really camo star fields on um, but like I said, I'm not a huge G3 guy, but that's a pretty sweet colorway.
Yeah.
This is probably by far the most interesting thing to me because the GM Slope, which is it's an aquatic GM. It's one of the many like MSV variants. Um, it looks like it's got a surfboard on its back.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I've seen this. Does it happen to be in GBO2?
Yeah, it is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, let me see, let's pull up the GBO2 wiki here and see if we can't find the slope. I want to say it's a general. Uh, is it not? Um, Aqua GM. Maybe I just need to search it.
Yeah, see if,
No results? Maybe it's not.
hmm.
If it's not, then I would be very surprised that we're getting things like, the crossbone
And then
before
I
we get
bet well, no, I know, that's crazy, by the way, but I bet they'll add it in then if it hasn't. That's just another, maybe this coming out as a kit is they're gonna have it, drop around that time.
Yeah, because the truth is, like, when they added those water maps to GBO2, it was really, like, stacked for Xeon. Like, it's like
Ah,
you had the Aqua Gundam, you had the Aqua GM, and then you had a
yeah.
whole host of marine type mobile suits from Xeon. Um,
Yeah,
so
it's so funny when they started adding that, I was like, "It's impossible for them to make this work." And it did. It's fun.
somehow
Yeah.
they did it.
Somehow they Ooh,
Um,
that's
but
cool.
so there's a lot of things that are fascinating about this because obviously, high grade GM, they have not made a remold of the high grade
Oh,
GM
that's
since, like,
right.
the early 2000s, right? So here we have basically a high grade GM. It says that it's from Gundam the Origin. It really is like an old school MSV design.
Mm,
But when you look at, like, the details on it, yeah, there's some of, like, the Origin panel lining that, that might turn you off, but, like, that is a standard GM. Like,
yeah.
it's
I
got
mean,
the
even the front
solid front
skirt.
skirt, it's
Yeah.
got the goofy looking head.
Huh, the is this could this be telling that we're gonna
Um,
see a new GM release soon? And,
maybe so.
you know, I forgot my thought, but I'm fascinated by this. Okay, like when they had the Chimera come out, right? That was the thing
Right.
with the hands or whatever, and we're like, "Hey,
Those look like
yeah,
Psycho Gundam Mark II arms,
yeah." Um,
which was such an interesting, strategy. We've been talking a lot about, like, Bandai marketing strategies lately,
yeah,
and, you know, those types of strange teasers, it makes you wonder, like, were they working on the Psycho Gundam Mark II for a long time, and maybe they just hadn't hammered out the designs for, like, the legs or the torso, and they're like, "Look, we've got the arms. What can we do with this?" And it's like, ah,
yeah, that seems like one way, yeah, or because it seems it would be odd you would release and I could be wrong by saying this, but the lesser known of what that would be from in both these cases.
yeah,
I think people would be more excited about a standard GM. This is cool, no doubt. But then with the Chimera and the, Psycho Gundam Mark II, you know, people were waiting for that Mark II forever.
true.
But I would think if they made it, they would have released it. So, I wonder how much of it is a strategy of, like, when it comes to budget. Like,
Mm,
it's more of like, "Okay, this is what we got out of this that we can push ahead of time to make some money," out of the
potentially
tool.
so. I mean, yeah, like, and that's where I think, like, it's almost like an accident that they had
Oh,
set it up
yeah.
that way. It's like, well, we didn't mean to launch it
I see.
before,
Yeah.
um, but then, dude, I think I sent you this video earlier. Let me see if I can pull it up here because this is one of the things that kind of drives me nuts about Bandai sometimes. Let's see if Discord's gonna play nicely for me. Um, so Tomy, Tomy is it yeah, Tomy Takara, I think,
Oh, yeah.
does the Zoids line, or is it Kotobukiya? This is the, uh, the promo video for the new Zoids Advance Z line Genobreaker. Look at this phenomenal CGI work. It's better than the CGI in the show, to advertise the release of this model kit.
Yeah, that
Have you ever seen anything like this for a
well,
Bandai product?
yeah, not Bandai. But interestingly enough, we were talking about Godzilla. You should see on their YouTube channel, they release just random shorts that are CGI battles of Godzilla and just another just every once in a while, just, "You guys want a kaiju battle? Here's one." It's like, wow, that's
That's pretty
um,
sweet.
and then did you see the Fortnite ad for the Power Rangers?
No.
They filmed a live action Power Rangers fight scene. And they had a Megazord. So Fortnite Epic or whoever they worked with, they filmed live action Mighty Morphin Power Rangers and a Megazord. They even had it where it was the game, but then it like slowly became real and you could barely tell. They even had
Like the Halo
helium.
days when they did that whole, like, the promo for, Halo 3.
Oh, that was so good. That made everyone so pumped for a Halo movie.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, but this is that caliber. I mean, this actually makes me think, wait, have this team be the production designers for or whatever for a Power Ranger show. And then, man, they just had the Red Ranger had a Gatling gun materialized in his hand, and he's running, shooting it, and then flipping in the air while it's shooting and doing kicks. It's like, what?
Dude. Now, like, Fortnite, I think, is a much bigger IP, like, they deserve to have, like, a live
Sure.
action promo, but,
Right.
like, Zoids, I think, is
Right.
not even like, not even a blip compared to because 'cause we've talked about how the Gundam, like, market share, it's, like, the 2nd or 3rd most popular anime IP,
Yeah.
probably closer to 4th or 5th since, like, One Piece has really, like, taken off because of the Netflix
Right.
show. Um, but yeah,
But
come on. Like, I
yeah,
I I would love to see that kind of stuff, even if it were only for, like, master grades.
and I wonder how much of it is, like, old guard stuff. It's like, "This has been working, and we just do
All
this,"
rock
not
the boat.
realizing where Zoids might be like you're talking about how it's not as popular, so it's trying to and I think even Godzilla after Shin, but more after the recent one, it just got so popular, they're like, "Okay, let's start throwing things out there now to" they have a Godzilla the Ride, in Japan, so,
That's pretty
um,
sweet, man. But
yeah.
yeah. Yeah, just things I'd like to see, Gundam do, but a couple of other interesting model kits that I wanna talk about from P Bandai, obviously this Zeta A1, which,
That's cool.
this was the same colorway as the master grade Zeta Plus that, Gunpla Luke won the regional GBWC
Oh.
last year,
Oh, that's cool.
um, which it is a pretty sick colorway,
Yeah.
um, but I would be much more inclined to get it if it came with the C1 parts, like
Oh, yeah.
the long like, the beam smart gun and, like, the radome dish, um,
Oh, I love that transformed mode. That looks good.
yeah, the Zeta Plus has always had a much more, like, grounded, like, realistic look compared to the
Yeah.
Zeta itself. Don't get me wrong, the Zeta is still my favorite, but, like, if you were to if you were to hold up the Zeta Plus and the Zeta Gundam side by side and maybe think of it in, like, Transformers terms, the Zeta Plus is like the Earth version that looks like an actual jet, whereas the
Oh,
Zeta
yeah.
is like the Cybertronian version that looks like a sci-fi jet.
Well done. That was a well done, little comparison.
Um, oh,
That
so it's
is
interesting.
cool.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
So sweet. I don't know that I would, like I said, I have a couple of Zeta Pluses, like the unicorn version and the C1. I don't know that I would necessarily, jump on that.
Yeah. Okay.
But finally, I wanna touch on this one because even though I'm not a big, G-Quux mobile suit guy, as you know, like, the designs kinda throw me off, here we have Sayla's light cannon, which confirms that my theory was not true. That, in fact, it was Sayla at the site of the first Zeknova, because I thought, like, "Oh, we never got any confirmation that it was Artesia in that light cannon." Which to me just further cements the kind of lack of focus and coordination when it comes to the storytelling in G-Quux because, like, you had Sayla there, but then you didn't do anything with her, and then, like, why was she there? If Amuro wasn't there to save her, or more specifically Kai, because it was Kai who let her into the escape hatch when they
Oh, yeah.
were, fleeing from the Xeon attack, like, she would have been shot.
Yeah.
Like, and then the whole, like, okay, if Shar had this intuition that he needed to go and leave Jean behind so that he can steal the Gundam, then, like, wouldn't he have known that his sister was there? He actually ran into her in the original series, so
Yeah, and you know what? It's funny, I was telling you, yeah, after seeing Superman and Fantastic Four this weekend, which both in general, very disappointing movies, like, I feel like they could be telling more compelling stories, but as I was breaking them down in my head, I'm like, "Wow, I'm actually describing my issues I have with G-Quux." How
Wow.
it introduces a lot of elements, but is not there's not necessarily depth with any of it, and with all the things that could go on, this is funny, for me, the heart of Superman was the dog, and that was pretty much how it started and ended.
Yeah.
Fantastic Four's the baby, how it started and ended. And in G-Quux, you can almost say that was a Suji in a way, because so many people were really thinking about him the whole time, and there wasn't really much to him except he was mysterious, but then ended up being part of how the story ended in a way. And yeah,
Yeah.
not to the same degree as the dog and baby, but you know, um,
No, I mean, I think that you're onto something there because obviously, like, Shuji did represent the sort of inciting incident for Machu to even get involved in, clan battles and things.
right?
But again, you introduce this idea of clan battles, and then 2 episodes later, clan battles don't matter anymore. You
Yeah,
introduce this assassination plot that, ooh, maybe Neon will get assassinated, and then literally 2 minutes later, she's like, "You're trying to kill me." It's like
yeah.
that episode or, like, I mean, that entire series is just extreme whiplash when it comes to the storytelling, and I know for a fact that what it comes down to is that they had a story that revolved around Machu, Neon, and Shuji that was interesting, um, but the fanboys that were on staff, they just wanted to pack it full of references to 0079. And congratulations, guys. You know a lot of your 0079 deep lore. Cool.
Yeah, but at what cost?
But at what cost? So, yeah, like I said, this to me is and like, honestly, the light cannon and the gun cannon are probably some of the least offensive designs from G-Quux,
Yeah,
so I don't hate this, as
yeah,
much as I kind of hate the Red Gundam and, like, and the Zaku, but at the same time, just the fact that they've confirmed that it is Sayla's is, extremely disappointing to me from a
wow,
narrative perspective, and, like, man, I really hope that they don't do any more G-Quux stuff.
wow. I I actually like the look of this, to me, this kind of speaks to the other mecha brain of mine where, power loader type stuff, because I even have the Gelgoog and I haven't built it yet.
Okay.
Like
Is it the Sugai Gelgoog or is it
yeah,
the okay, yeah.
yeah, Sugai, and I like the look of that. I do like the look of this more. Um, but I really, at the end of the day, like the, RX-78 to whatever, O2, I think.
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
that I think this looks cool, yeah. It's almost like
Um,
wasted potential.
for
Maybe
sure.
that's what I'm feeling.
Yeah, yeah, it does feel like wasted potential. Um,
I would love to see a fleet of those out in battle. I wanna
right.
see some fleet battles. It's like, I know you like the lore, the callbacks, but let's also do what we wanted to see, and that's just fleet battles of mobile suits.
Every now and again would be nice. And then I see over here in the sidebar, they do have Graham Acres Union flag, which now I know what that is because I've watched Double O at this point.
Oh,
Or
that's
at least
cool.
I've started watching Double O. This is one of those things that seems like kind of a cheap repaint because obviously
Mm,
it is essentially just a Moon Gundam.
yeah, with
It's a Moon
yeah,
Gundam in Varguil colors with a Psycho Gundam head.
yeah. That's it. I like it, though, gotta
It is
say.
pretty cool,
Like
I'm not gonna lie.
yeah.
Yeah, and there it is in Moon configuration. I wonder, does it have the ability to mount the G doors as the way that the Psycho Gundam Mark IV does?
I don't know. I have the Moon Gundam, and it seems to have a very specific way that it one part of it at least goes on. So,
Yeah.
yeah, but I think you can move it around, but maybe not to that you're talking about where it's kinda like side by side?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. I don't
Because
know.
one of the things I'm probably gonna end up doing is designing and 3D printing the G doors so that I can mount them on a high grade Bawu and make the Psycho Bawu because
Oh,
that design is real sweet. And then
yeah,
I
this is
think they
pretty
actually announced a new Witch from Mercury,
oh,
kit, didn't they? Is
that
that this
one
one?
looks good. Yeah, that's it. That one looks good.
The Nion, straight from Veneda's heart?
Yeah, I don't know anything lore-wise about this, but I do think it looks cool. I think what helps is the more Gundam-like head.
Yeah, it has, like, a blend of Gundam Ferract, like, in the thighs.
Yeah.
It kind of looks like the Gundam Ferract and in the head for that matter. But, yeah, it's got kind of this, like
Wow.
that is a pretty cool design. Yeah, I love the wing binders. It's still a little busy for me as far as, like, mobile suit designs go, but I
And
don't
what I
hate
would
it.
say is, like, I know right now what's real popular are these Chinese Gundams, that this is almost like Bandai doing that. They're
It
like,
is,
"Okay,
isn't it?
here's some other cool, neat, unique design." Because I really love this design. I would totally get this.
And I love a spear,
Yeah, that's
instead of just the typical beam saber, like, I love the idea of, like, a
oh,
glaive or halberd, something like that, you
yeah.
know?
Yeah, that could be utilized more. Yeah, and it looks like it's a whole weapon system. Yeah,
Yeah, it's pretty
that's
sweet.
cool looking.
Still don't think I would pick it up,
I think I
but
am.
I'm glad you mentioned those, like, interesting Chinese designs because I wanna close out the episode talking about some G Generation Eternal stuff.
Oh,
There is the first, like, specifically SD event coming soon here, and the new banner units are going to be the Black Dragon EX, um, and the Liu Bei Unicorn Gundam. So let's see. Um, so yeah, like you said, it's got the silly eyes of an SD, transforms into dragon mode. It looks like something out of Kirby, doesn't
yeah, that or almost that scene looked like something from Zelda in the castle.
it? Yeah, it's got the Ganon thing going. Um, but yeah, you've been playing a lot of Dynasty Warriors, so obviously, you're familiar with Liu Bei and Cao
That's
Cao and Sun
that's how I learned
Ce.
about them. Had no idea they existed until
Real guys in
I know
history. In
that's
fact,
what's pretty
I'm
interesting.
convinced that he piloted a mobile suit that looked like that.
Wow. Well, hey, in America, what is our ancient myth person that's in SD form? We haven't been that old to have that. Isn't that
You
interesting?
know, I'm glad you bring that up because one of the things that I've noticed is that we like in Hollywood, we do this thing where we kind of hash over the same mythology over and over again. We talk about Norse mythology. We have like Thor and, the Norse
Yeah.
gods. We go over Greek mythology. Christopher Nolan's about to have his own version of
Oh,
the Odyssey come out. Where are the movies about the American tall tales? Because that's our mythology, like, as Americans.
I know,
I wanna
yeah.
see John Henry slamming nails faster than the machine on the train line, you know?
And
I
what
wanna
if that
see
is
Pecos
done in
Bill doing his thing with the tornado.
It needs to be some sort of like Western punk or something where it's like this would
Yeah,
be the alt fantasy version of that time. Paul Bunyan?
Paul
Um,
Bunyan,
uh,
does Johnny Appleseed count?
I think so. It's one of those. I know that, Davy Crockett.
Davy Crockett, yeah. Well, and Davy Crockett was a real guy, right?
Yeah.
Him and Jim Bowie and,
Yeah.
like, all those guys down at the Alamo. So,
Yeah, that it
American
would be
Tall
neat to
Tales, man, that's our mythology, and we need
yeah.
this we need Hollywood needs to do, like, big budget, blockbuster style.
I think so, and have a whole American universe, cinematic universe.
Yeah, the ACU.
ACU.
Um, but yeah, so coming this Friday, the, Lacroian Hero story event. So it's got Night Gundam as one of the development trees. It'll be interesting. You know, this
Didn't
will
he
probably
help
be the
me
first Gundam, Eternal event that I don't, like, go hard
go
playing.
wait, but you're gonna get everything anyway.
I'm I mean, I'll do my dailies.
That's cool. Yeah, I was about to say that guy, he looks like the guy that helps me, I think in it was Gundam Breaker or
Yeah.
SD or, Battle Alliance, I forget. One of their teammates you get
Yeah,
early
because
on.
if you pre-ordered Battle Alliance, you got the
Oh,
Cao
okay.
Cao,
That's what it
Wing
was.
Gundam, you got the Liu Bei Unicorn, and I think it was the Sun Quan.
Oh,
Was
yeah.
it a Strike or a Freedom Gundam? Something like that. I'm
Yeah.
95% sure it was a Seed mobile suit, but
That's neat, and I wonder yeah, I almost feel like that's not targeting the West with this DLC.
no, probably not. But,
Like, DLC is sometimes a deeper cut of a thing, and then by region, that's very interesting just to think in general. Because like, I don't care about this.
well, and you kind of, like, with GBO2, for instance, you got, like, such a clear delineation between that they were catering to overseas fans with the Steam, mobile suit releases and Western fans with the console releases, right? Like, you know, PC GBO2 players got the Freedom Gundam. They
Oh,
got the first AU mobile suit before console players did, right? And I
mhm.
think that that's because by and large, there's a larger percentage of PC players like in China and Japan than there are in the US.
Yeah. No, that tracks. I think that's why they did those surveys and all that. But I think they're now gonna be, putting all that stuff, combined, but yeah.
Yeah,
And
putting it
parity.
all together.
Yeah.
But
Um,
yeah, so I mean, obviously, go in there and do your dailies. Keep racking up AP because then when something does come out that you are interested in, I mean, they just recently gave away 6,000 diamonds for first because they had 3,000,000. What was it? It was like they were ranked number 1 in, like, 6 different countries, and so they were like, "Oh,
oh,
yeah,
yeah.
here's 3,000 diamonds," and then they hit 6,000,000 downloads, and they were like, "Here's another 3,000 diamonds." So it's like,
Yeah.
even if you're not actively playing G Generation Eternal, just log in every day. You'll get
Yeah,
something free.
yeah, because I think I did it the other day and I got nothing, no good suit. I just had bad luck in the game, you
Oh,
know?
that sucks.
So basically I plugged in American Tall Tales Cinematic Universe into ChatGPT, and it's already got phase 2.
It's already got phase 2. Where does, Pedro Pascal fit into it?
Oh, okay, yeah, that's right, he's gonna be in there somewhere.
You know he's gonna be in there.
Yeah, of course, but I like how they're saying it's like steampunk.
That's
Or
kinda cool.
it's kind of already that is a great idea, Steven. That is a thing that could happen. That
Hey,
is
I'm just saying, like, if, Legendary Pictures wants to hire me to to come in
yeah, start
and
it.
spearhead the ACU, um, but yeah, that's really all we've got to talk about today. I mean, there's a lot of awesome Gunpla announcements that have been coming out over the last couple weeks. G Generation Eternal has been a lot of fun with this new like Generation Tower mode. But then, like I said, I've been kind of nose to the grindstone getting things working on these deck boxes and building up the store. One of the next things that's going up there are going to be entry grade conversion kits because obviously affordable conversion kits has always been a passion of mine. I've released a couple of them to the folks on Patreon, but I am going to step it up even more because like now you're going to be actually able to like buy the physical ones, and because I'll be casting them in using the silicone molds and like the harder resin, they're going to be a lot more durable. So I'm
Very
pretty
cool.
excited about that, and I'm making a lot of improvements to those designs too. So,
Nice. Cool stuff.
but yeah, thank you guys so much. Thank you all for your support. Thank you, Adam, for for walking through these Gunpla with me, and just chatting on a Wednesday evening.
Yeah.
next
course.
week we'll probably start doing either a little bit more card game playing, or
Ooh.
we might even just do a little bit of a build off and, start working on some Gunpla side by side because I think that that'd
Oh,
be a
yeah.
lot of fun.
Yeah.
Until next time, obviously, we've got the Gundam Explained show tomorrow night, and if you haven't checked out the review of the GM Ayug
Yep.
2 with Balut,
That's right.
go check that out on Gundam Explained, and definitely, like I said, take a look and see if there's a deck box that you're interested in checking out in the link down below. Until next time, we will catch you later.
See y'all.